Hi. So, internet's down and I'm like really bored. I mean, there's absolutely nothing to do because the TV, half the channels don't work as usual. It's really frustrating. I don't have any books to read. I'm listening to music on my cell phone. It's great. Of course, my cell phone is almost dead. It's at 29%. And I don't really feel like bending over to plug it in, so. But there's like nothing to do. Mom's at work, so can't really blog, can't work on a new website, can't talk on IM. So I'm basically sitting here on my ass, waiting for something to happen. Of course, nothing ever happens here, other than slamming doors and being really, really obnoxious. So I figured I'd make a, whatever this is, video blog thing. I think they're called vlogs, or I don't know. I've never done one before, as you can probably tell. So I kind of wanted to touch on the subject, internet, since it's down. I figured I would go up on that. I mean, it might sound like really, really silly, but for me, internet's kind of like an antidepressant. I mean, a lot of people go out, they do something, to get their mind off their troubles, to kind of like escape from everything. Well, for me, that's internet. So when it's down, I start thinking about my life because at the moment it really, really, really sucks. Because I'm homeless and different story. But for me, internet is kind of like an antidepressant. So when it's not here, I'm sitting here thinking about all the terrible things that are going on in my life. And yeah, I get really, really, really depressed. Well, it's been down for about 2 days now. Yeah, not doing so great at the moment. Yeah. Honestly, it's just a lot of things are running through my mind right now. I mean, people, what I've gone through, a lot of my friends online. And I mean, I remember this one person. I don't remember what the hell his name is, but he's some guy on Twitter who was harassing me about calling me a liar that I'm homeless and shit. But I mean, it doesn't really bother me that he calls me a liar. I mean, it's really, really, really rude, but it's like whatever. I've kind of gotten over it. But one thing that he said was, "Oh, now she's complaining about her internet being down." It's like, what? Since I'm homeless, I'm not allowed to be complaining about this stuff? I mean, I'm not allowed to have fun. I should just sit here and be miserable all the time? Well, I'm sitting here, I'm being miserable. You happy? Yeah, I don't think so, because why should I be miserable? Homeless or not, I'm allowed to be happy, right? I'm allowed to have fun and do stuff and hang out online, right? I mean, but for me, internet's the antidepressant, so it's like when it's not here, all I do is dwell on the negative. And for those who do know me, I'm a very negative person. So, I mean, it doesn't really help. And when the internet's up, I got friends to talk to, Twitter, I got things to keep me distracted. There's games online, people online, my blog, my websites. There's just a lot that I could be doing to keeping my mind on more positive things. And with the internet down, all I want to do is sit here, cry, and bitch and complain. And that's not really helping anything. I've noticed that if you're a positive person and you think positively, more positive things happen. Well, when you're sitting here with nothing to do, I mean, for me, all I think about is the negative things. And it's not helping and it's not making me feel better. In fact, it's making me feel worse. And things are already bad enough. I don't need my attitude to make them worse. So I guess I just really, really, really want the internet back. But this stupid motel, which we pay like 2,000 a month for, and can't really afford that, but I'm sick, so sleeping in the car isn't really a good idea. And now I have an ear infection. How the hell I got that, I don't know. But it really hurts. It's my right ear. I was looking at the camera and I was like, oh my god, is that my left ear? It's like, no, that's my right ear. I can be really weird sometimes. Okay, I'm sorry. Anyways, off topic. But AJ, the stupid motel owner of this motel we're staying at, obviously, doesn't want to fix the internet. He keeps saying, I'm fixing it. We all know that he's not fixing it. He's just doing whatever the hell he does. I mean, it's his fault that it's broken in the first place. I mean, he turns the internet on and off, on and off, on and off, all the time. It's like, what is the point of that? All you're doing is pissing off your customers. I mean, I thought that you were supposed to make customers happy in order to make money, but I think he's a little bit confused about this. Because, I mean, if he doesn't have a generator in this motel, for one. It's a pretty nice motel, I guess. I mean, considering it's like falling apart and it's only like, what, 2 years old? I don't know, maybe 4 years old. I don't know. We've been here about a year and a half. It's almost 2 years now, I guess. But I mean, it's falling apart. I mean, there was an earthquake here a while back, and there's like a ton of cracks everywhere. It's like this place is like brand new. I don't think it should have these type of problems. I mean, the toilet doesn't flush right. All the bathroom drains are clogged. There's like stuff all over the carpets. It's kind of disgusting. The furniture is just crap. The TVs, they're older than I am, and I'm 18. I'll be 19 this year. I mean, they are really old and they're really crappy. But then again, the furniture's crappy. So, and the walls are paper thin. I mean, when the people, because we have a double bed next door, I don't know why, but people next door have sex all the time. And it's like, okay, I don't really want to hear this. I mean, can't you go somewhere else, like home? I mean, it's kind of creepy when you can stay at a hotel and you don't hear any of your neighbors, and then you're here and you can hear everything they talk about and do. It's like really, really annoying, especially when they have sex. I mean, I really don't want to hear that. I mean, the ladies next door, he's a screamer. Yeah. A little bit more than I wanted to know. But yeah. Well, AJ, hotel owner, doesn't see the problem in this because he says that doesn't happen. It's not a big deal. Yeah, whatever. Just like his cleaners don't clean anything. That's another story. I mean, the places, it's filthy. Well, it's actually not that bad, but it is pretty bad. I mean, if you look on, like, I don't know, the nightstand or something, there's dust everywhere. If you look under the nightstand, it looks like no one has vacuumed in the last, like, 10 years. This place isn't even 10 years old, so. But it's just really, really frustrating, and I really hate it here. Because, I mean, there's no personal privacy. All I do is sit around. I mean, it wouldn't be so bad if there was, like, more to do here. But there's nothing to do. Especially if the internet's not up. I mean, at least when the internet is working, there's something to do. But when the internet is down, it's just... it's hell. Because there's nothing to do. And it's not like I could go out for a walk. Because I can't lock the door. So, gives me a headache. In all honesty, I just really, really, really want to go home. But I don't have a home. I miss my home. I mean, my house was, like, really crappy and all. I mean, it was like, 35 years old or something. I don't know, it was really old. And it was haunted. I mean, I know that really sounds insane, it does, I know, but it was haunted. It's as simple as that. I mean, things turned up missing. You could hear people walking around in our house, and there was nobody there, except for, like, you. And you weren't moving, okay? That's really creepy. And it wasn't just the house settling, because it did that all the time, and that was totally normal. But this was, like, walking. I mean, there was this one time when I actually went upstairs, because that's where most of the walking was. And I was in one of the bedrooms up there. We rented the rooms out, so at this time, it was empty, no one was staying there. So I went up there, because I'd heard, you know, someone walking around. I went up there, and I was like, maybe someone's here. I mean, maybe someone is, like, sleeping in here, and we just don't know it or something. So I went up there to investigate. Well, I went into the, white room, because one was white and one was red. There's 2 bedrooms up there. Well, I went to the white room, and I was walking around. The room was empty. And that's where I had heard the walking, like, 2 seconds before I walked to the room. Well, I walked in the room, and I looked around, and there's no place for them to hide except for the closet. Well, I looked in the closet. There was no one there. And there was no one anywhere in the room. So I decided to look out the window. It's a really nice view. Okay, it's actually really not, but I always liked the view, because I always wanted a room upstairs, and I always liked that room. I don't know why. I just did. It had a nice view. At least to me, it had a nice view. I could see outside, and I could see the neighbors. They have a really nice hot tub. Not that I ever used it. I wish I could have, but I don't know. But it had a kind of nice view. At least I liked the view. I could see, like, my whole front yard. Okay, I couldn't see my whole front yard. I could see, like, half my front yard and my van and who was in the driveway and stuff. So that was nice. But I was up there and I was looking out the window, and suddenly I heard someone walking behind me. Well, I spun around and I expected to see someone. And there was nobody there, but I still heard the walking. It was getting closer and closer and closer. I just about had a heart attack, okay? Because there was someone walking towards me, but I saw nobody. And this happened multiple times. I mean, not always in like the same way, but you could hear people walking and there was nobody there. Well, I ran down the stairs. I totally left the room and I never went back. Okay, I did go back months later when we were evicted from the house, but I wasn't up there alone. I refused to go up there alone after that. It was really creepy. Yeah. But I mean, I even though my house like totally scared me to death, at least it was home, you know, it was mine, and I had all my stuff, and there was always something to do. I mean, there were movies, there was TV, I could go for a walk around in my neighborhood, I could go down to the 7-Eleven because we lived kind of close to a 7-Eleven. It was like 30 minutes walk. Unless you were like moseying along, then it took like a while, but it was about a 30-minute walk, and there was lots of like annoying kids in my neighborhood. They were all a little bit younger than me, and they were like really jackasses, but they were really stupid. It was really funny to make fun of them, you know. But I just really miss home. I mean, it was my home, and yeah, there were a lot of things about it that I totally hated, like ghosts and it being haunted and stuff. Because one time, I refused to sleep in my bedroom. I've always slept in my mom's room because she had this huge water bed, and when my dad moved out, I kind of had issues with being afraid that she would leave. So I started sleeping with her in her room. You know, not sleeping with her, but I started sleeping in her room in the bed. So, I mean, I was like 5 at the time. Well, I never exactly grew out of that. And she had a really nice water bed, and my bed like sucked. It like you move just a little bit and squeak, squeak, squeak. It was so annoying. So I would stay in her bed, and well, one time I was trying to, you know, I think I was like 15, and I was like finally like maybe I should start sleeping in my own bed. I mean, teenager, you kind of want your own space and your own stuff. So I was like, maybe I should start sleeping in my own bed. By this time, I had gotten a new bed. It was a cool bunk bed. It was really neat. You could turn the bottom bunk into a chair. It was awesome. I got this because someone was supposed to be moving in with us, but she never did. Another story. But so I started sleeping in my own room. Well, that went great for about a month, and then I started having these really weird periods where I swear the ghosts that were in our house were like following me around. I couldn't go anywhere without them being right there. It was really creepy. Well, one morning, I woke up. Mom had been gone all night because I think my grandma was in the hospital or something. Yeah, I think it was my grandma was in the hospital. So my mom was with grandma all night, and I was home alone. Well, it took me forever to fall asleep that night. Well, in the morning, Mom was home, and she came in to wake me up. Well, she like kind of woke me up, and I didn't want to wake up because I never do. Well, finally I woke up to hearing someone breathing at the foot of my bed. Now, there was nothing possible that could have made that sound. I checked, but there was someone breathing at the foot of my bed, and it wasn't my mom and it wasn't me because I held my breath just to check. And yeah, after that, I refused to sleep in my room. I refused to go in there at night too. So I don't know. My room was really creepy. I didn't like that room. It also had pink unicorns everywhere because it had been painted when I was like 5. So because that's when I had last slept in it. So yeah, so it never got repainted, and I just hated my room. But, I mean, yeah, there were a lot of things about my house that I hated, like it was falling apart and shut and stuff. But, I mean, I liked my house. It was mine. It was a safe place where I could go. I mean, no one could just come in and just take it away. It was mine. I mean, it was my house, and I lived there, and all my stuff was there. It was home. Yeah, I mean, there was some serious problems and some really creepy shit going on, but it was my house, and suddenly, in August of 2010, it suddenly wasn't my house anymore. Because I'm not going to go into all the details, but that we were scammed out of my house my mom and I were scammed out of our house by my dad. He's great. He took $300,000 out on the house and didn't tell anyone. And it it didn't go well. So we lost the house. We had like a week's notice to get out, and Mom had lived there for like 35 years, and I'd lived there my whole life. And my mom's 60 now, and well, she'll be 60 this year, and she's retired and everything. So, and I'm sick, so I can't really get a job. I gotta get some blood work done and stuff. That's again another story, but and it's just really hard.